Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of our videos. Please take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy.
Women, have you ever dated a man-child? What happened? Dated him for 6 months. He had a really creepy bond with his mom, whom he had to call every weekend or she'd think he was dead. She created songs for everything, from gardening to tucking the kids in bed each night, and he still loved singing along. His mother did everything for him in life and it showed. His room was never clean, he never needed to work because mom would give him money, and he refused to deal with his problems, or anything difficult for that matter. His mom would always post mushy greeting card type things on his FB wall, to which he would reply something like, "I'm a baby boy forever, love you mom." It got weird when I made some random joke about lactation and then he said, "Don't you miss it? Being on your mom's boobs?" He was being completely serious. Bet he'd still be on that boob if he could. I'm glad he never brought me home that much, but when he did I got exposed to the intense motherson weirdness. Meanwhile, his sister hates her parents and maintains a relatively normal life. Yes, one in college who still went home to have his mother clip his toenails because he could not stand to do it himself. He broke up with me one night a mile from my dorm and left me crying in a snowbank. I later discovered he had been hitting on the local Starbucks clerk by telling her he and I were in an open relationship. I had never even heard the phrase before. After finding a new girlfriend less than 24 hours after he broke up with me. Fortunately, it wasn't the Starbucks clerk, she was nice. He decided the next week he wanted me back. I decided no. I don't know how I survived 4 years with him, but he refused to move out of his parents' house even though he was employed. Refused to take school seriously, refused to learn how to cook for himself, do laundry, eat a single vegetable or drink water. He did this thing where if I was upset at him for a perfectly legitimate reason, for example he lost one of my books that my friend gifted me, he'd turn the blame around on me and say, "Well, you shouldn't have placed so much sentimental value on that book anyways." Never was supportive of anything that I wanted to do, wanted to control my appearance. Good luck to the next girl he's with. I married one. I was young and gave in, easy to pressure, plus I had hoped that it was because he was young. Nope. He's still a man-child. We were teen parents and he somehow thinks that because he's a dad that he's automatically an adult. I know dude. He's 25 and got himself in a huge amount of debt, lost his car, got kicked out of the army and now he lives with his parents. Just yesterday I had to go to their house and his parents and I had to have a talk with him about being a lazy parent. It was just depressing that I had to talk to my ex-in-laws just to get through to him, but that's what I get. I hate that I'm forever connected to him, but I'm very happy that my daughter is old enough to see that she doesn't want to marry someone like that. My husband, her stepdad, is who sets her standards on what a man is, so I'm very grateful for that. She said my ex is lazy, a brat and like an uncle while saying she knows her dad, my husband, would move mountains to make sure she's provided for. I eventually broke up with him. He always joked about being a man-child and of course I don't mind some immaturity. I joke about stupid things sometimes too, but holy crap it was unbearable. Literally 90% of what he contributed to conversations were unfunny perverted jokes. It got so annoying so quickly. He even bought handcuffs and a whip solely as props to his dumb jokes. He would also get easily offended and get into huge fights with his best friend about the most insignificant and stupid things and then whine to me about them for way longer than I cared to listen. They'd go from best friends to worst enemies multiple times a day. Talking to him became excruciating. He was a really great guy, everyone loved him, but his mom had babied him so much his entire life he couldn't function as an adult. When we met he had just dropped out of law school and was working at a restaurant. I was 21 at the time, so not really thinking of the future. After quitting his restaurant job because he didn't like being told what to do, he ended up going back to law school and graduating, but could not find a job afterward. He did not do well in school. I think he graduated second to last in his class and wouldn't work and get experience during because he needed his free time. We moved to Oregon together for me to go to graduate school, and he worked a series of odd jobs, never holding down one for longer than a few weeks. Meanwhile I was going deeper and deeper into debt trying to support us while I was in school. Eventually I realized that fun isn't everything. We got engaged, which made me start thinking about what it would be like to actually build a life with him, and it scared the hell out of me. I saw a life full of me being incredibly stressed all the time trying to take care of everything while he just kind of floated around doing whatever he felt like at the moment. I saw us having kids and him playing with them when it suited him but leaving all the hard work to me. I saw me having to work full-time, and pay the bills, and clean the house, and take care of the kids. I ended up breaking up with him, dropping out of graduate school, and moving back to my hometown, and into my mom's basement. It was an incredibly depressing time of my life, but I pulled myself together, got a good job, moved into my own place, and never looked back. Dating a man-child is awful. Usually they have a weird relationship with their mother where she always knows best and they have to share every detail about their life with her. Also, the mother is usually very threatened by a new woman entering her son's life. So she goes about making the man-child more dependent on her by continually financially supporting him. One guy I dated actually was given money to gamble with from his mother. I couldn't believe she handed him $100 when we were in AC. It was like giving money to a child to play arcade games. Dated one for a year. We lived together for about 6 months. It took about 3 months for me to figure out that he was using fabric softener as detergent when he did his laundry. And then, he swore that was how his jeans got so soft. He wasn't working and wasn't doing anything except playing Diablo 24/7. Which, hey, if you can do that, go for it. But then his money ran out and he still didn't get a job. And we would have moments with me coming home from working 9 to 12 hours a day to find him still at the computer. Hasn't changed clothes, hasn't brushed his hair, and he says, "Oh, yeah, the cat litter needs to be cleaned out. It's stinky. Are you kidding me?" It all finally came to a head when I told him that he could either pull his weight, pay half the rent, take out the garbage, do the dishes, or he could move out. He moved out the next day while I was at work. And dropped his keys off with me while I was at work. Yeah, I am glad that didn't work out. His mom and dad bought him a condo and furnished it beautifully. His mom would come over twice a week to do his laundry. She purchased all his groceries. She bought him everything he needed and lots of stuff he didn't. New Mercedes-Benz every few years, never paid for gas, insurance, cell phone, etc. Oh, and for some background, his mother actually put toothpaste on his toothbrush for him until he was 16 years old. Typical smother mother. It ended when his parents offered to buy him a bigger, better house if he broke up with me, so we broke up. He was the biggest thing in his mother's life. It was crazy. So she ingrained herself into every aspect of his life so she couldn't be left behind. My husband was a bit of a man-child when we first moved in together. We were young, and I hoped that he would grow out of it. Luckily I was correct. It was really frustrating at first because he was 21 and had never washed dishes or done his own laundry, but he did learn. The hardest part, I think, was getting him to accept that he didn't know how to do these things and that it was okay to learn. For a while it was, "You do it, you're better at it." I broke up with him because I wanted to be his wife, not his mommy. He's an only child and his mom doted on him too much well into his 30s. He lived at home, but in a separate unit that had been carved up for rental. He paid no rent, which normally would have made me nope out of there right away, but at first it seemed like a genuine money-saving strategy. He had a good job and is very good at the work he does. He made decent money and helped his parents with things in the house, so I made an exception to the no men living at home rule. I regretted doing this. He was selfish and hypocritical. I stopped kissing him because he refused to brush his teeth or make any effort to have nice breath. Instead of just spending 2 minutes brushing his teeth or keeping some mouthwash around, he would argue with me over how bad breath is natural in the morning. "No one else tells me I have bad breath. Why are you being so picky?" I felt like I was dealing with a toddler. "Mommy, I don't want to brush my teeth." I met him on Harmony, a site known for people who want to get married and have a traditional relationship. A year later we were no closer to marriage, but instead he started demanding that I give him fun times with a third person for his birthday. He wanted a modern woman who would work a full-time job, contribute 50% on expenses. But he also wanted that same woman to do all the cooking and cleaning and housework because he doesn't enjoy doing those things, therefore he shouldn't have to do them. These things came out slowly because at first he was pretty great. But then I just got the sense that he was just trying to see what he could get out of me, and I got the hell out. I dated one but didn't find out till I had already moved in with him to the extent he didn't do any household things like grocery shopping, laundry, dishes, cooking, cleaning, or taking care of his cat. His first time attempting to run the dishwasher, he put the wrong soap in it, which flooded the kitchen with suds. He did it 2 more times. He would throw temper tantrums if I didn't have laundry done for him, and he stayed up till 3 or 4 every morning playing video games even if he knew he had to get up early. Nothing changed when we talked about it and I ended up leaving. Best decision I made in a long time.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end. We want to thank you again for giving us a few minutes of your time, and we wish you have a great rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. It really does help us a lot. That's it from me. Roll the outro.